Previously on Racing Georgia.
Well, that was a good day, probably the most enjoyable stage yet. The sun came out quite early and we had beautiful views of the lake and the surrounding mountains.
Our route for Stage 4 was stunning, and the weather has finally begun to improve, although nature still had a few surprises up her sleeve. We're on day 4 of a 7-day stage race in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia with Racing the Planet. We're running 250 kilometers through a remote region of the country while carrying all of our food and supplies for the week on our backs.
Probably could have used our ponchos, but... Well, good morning. It is day 4, the morning of stage 4. It's about 6:30. I've already packed up my bags and I've gotten dressed and taken care of a couple things. I brushed my teeth and I'm about to eat breakfast and have my coffee. Last night was a little rough. We all went to bed quite early because it was raining and there were thunder showers throughout the night, lightning, a little bit more hail, quite a bit of rain. But we woke up to relatively clear skies. Looks like mixed conditions, so who knows what we're going to get today, but at least for now it's dry. People are in good spirits. And today's another relatively short stage before tomorrow's long stage, so I think it's about kind of maintaining, trying to be consistent but not going out too hard, and saving it for tomorrow's long march.
The leaderboard remains unchanged heading into Stage 4. On the women's side, though, things are getting interesting, where Magdalena has managed to really widen her lead on Anum, who now has Nikki hot on her heels.
Matt, how you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. I mean, my mattress pad popped on me, but I'm actually genuinely feeling pretty good. It feels like it's going to be a hotter day today, but yesterday morning felt like it was going to be a colder day. I didn't put any sunscreen on. And so I'm trying to just be prepared for anything today because I think anything might happen.
You should just step out of your tents and get some vitamin D quickly if you can. I don't know how long it's going to stay there.
How you feel?
A little bit tight on the knee. Ankle is swelling up, but it'll hold.
Yeah.
It'll hold. I just need to manage it.
Well done. Here we are, stage 4. And I think yesterday was probably one of the better days of the 3. We got a little bit of sun, and seeing you come across the finish line, and I'm so impressed with all the big smiles, even though you put so many kilometers in your legs. And it's not just plain old kilometers, it's up and down and rivers and mud and lots of mud. I've seen mud on all parts of you. So well done, congratulations. We are now about to start stage 4. You are all amazing, wonderful. So today's course, you'll be going through many villages. So you're going to really get to experience daily Georgia life. It's quite cool. Some very, very nice villages, and people will be very curious. I've been told that there shouldn't be that many dogs on this course. You're not going to be out in the mountains with the shepherds and the sheep, so you will not have, you won't have dogs, as many dogs as you've experienced recently.
After leaving Camp 4, our route for Stage 4 will wind through a series of quaint villages and over rolling hills, before finishing on the outskirts of a village, where we'll then be shuttled to Camp 5 next to the Ablari River, for a distance of 38 kilometers with a moderate amount of elevation change.
2 minutes!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, have a great day out
Have a good run. Running through this mud is just so taxing on the body. So Matt pulled ahead of me pretty early on. He's a few hundred meters up. but I'm pretty confident I can catch them on the back half. Just gonna take my time through this first 10K, get warmed up, and then lay it on a little thicker at the end. I'm already thinking about tomorrow, about that long stage.
I stopped to get my rein.
Yeah,
I think this is going to be sustained.
yeah, I think so too. Well, I don't know if you can see me through the water on the lens, but it's coming down pretty hard. Yeah, to the right. I caught up to Matt here. We both put our jackets on. Probably could have used our ponchos, but I don't want to get too hot. As wet as it gets. It's cold too. Real cold. Oh, it's fast. Yeah. Well, Matt and I have been wrapped up in conversation here and just realized we haven't seen a flag in a while. So it looks like we went a good kilometer out of the way. It's our own damn fault. Gotta pay more attention. There they are, up ahead. Okay, we're back on course. Hey guys. Good. Got through the rain, I think. The worst of it, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Need some water?
Yeah, I'll take some water. Thanks, guys. Okay, we're through checkpoint 1. The rain stopped. It's still kind of cool though. I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm gonna keep my hard shell on for a bit just for insulation. We ran 1 extra kilometer, but that's okay. Thank you. Hi. Hello. Hey guys. Hi. Good? Yeah.
It's a bit more climbing this one, and then it's downhill from CP3.
Okay. All right, okay, thanks guys. See ya. Thanks for being out here. This was my second event with Racing the Planet. The first being back in October of 2021, when I traveled to Namibia to run the Namib Desert Race. There I finished 4th place, which I was perfectly happy with, since it had been more of a B race for me that season. Let's take a look at these feet. I hadn't trained specifically for it, nor did I do much training at all with the heavy pack. But this time was different, and my goal in Georgia was nothing short of a podium finish. My training started in earnest back in March, as I focused on speed work early on before I began to build volume. I also experimented quite a bit with different nutrition strategies throughout the season, including the use of powders, which I'd seen a few of the leaders use in Namibia.
So I'm experimenting with powders today for this long run. I'm going to use Scratch Labs Super Fuel. 4 scoops should give me about 200 calories. So I have some spares already And of course, I did plenty of running with a loaded pack, including several runs over 60 kilometers. I'm running today with my XA25 pack. I've got about 13 pounds, just over 13 pounds with full bottles. I knew that Georgia would be a very runnable race, and I aimed to do most of my long runs at the average pace I expected to run during the race, of about 6 minutes per kilometer. But I also knew that there'd be a fair bit of elevation change involved, with long and gradual climbs. So I had to be very careful in planning my routes, aiming for roughly 1,000 meters of elevation gain per 40 kilometers. So I'm just over 50 kilometers in, close to 5.5 hours. And as usual, at this time in a long run, I'm ready to be done. Last 10K is always a bit of a slog, and I think that track workout yesterday has finally caught up with me. But none of this training matters unless you can show up to the start line healthy. So I doubled down on my recovery efforts as well. Hey! Thank you. Hey guys. Hi. Yeah, I'll get some water. Okay, I'm through the last checkpoint. 7 kilometers, I believe, to the finish. This territory is believed to have been inhabited by prehistoric people since the Paleolithic period, and nearby archaeological excavations have unearthed the remains of settlements, weapons, and tools dating back to the Bronze Age. In fact, Georgia is home to the earliest evidence for the presence of early humans outside of the African continent. Almost there.
Well, another stage done, and with that, we are well past the halfway point. I had a good day. I finished second again. I took it easy for the first 3 quarters or so, and then kind of enjoyed that downhill rolling to the finish line. From there, they've actually bussed us to where we're set up here for the night in some shelters for the night, because last night, I think after the 2 or 3 lightning storms that moved through, they were a little bit weary about leaving us out in the field again for tonight. So we're actually at the site of a couple of old Soviet buildings that I think one of them is still being used as a community center. The other one I'm not sure if it's in use, but it's kind of cool actually. So we're right kind of in the center of a town here, and it's a good chance to just dry out some clothing and kind of warm up tonight and reset, because tomorrow is the long stage.
I'll just stand here for the rest of the day.
How was it today?
It was good. We got lost, but we realized our mistake quite soon, and the scenery was incredible as usual. Villages are fantastic and the locals are just amazing. So friendly and very cool experience.
It was a challenging start with knee-deep mud, basically, and then thunderstorm with heavy rain. It's always the fun thing, at the first start you try to keep your feet dry, and in the end it doesn't really matter anymore.
Then you just commit.
Yeah, you just plunge through every piece of water you can see.
I could eat a whole bag of these right now.
Matt, what do you have there that you're enjoying so much?
Almonds.
Oh, almonds. I've got
Salt and vinegar almonds.
Yeah.
And I'm not above licking the inside of the package.
Another stage was behind us, but the most difficult was yet to come, because tomorrow was the long march, and everything so far had really just been a warm-up.
That's too far. Too far? No, it'll be okay. And then Namibia was more than 80, so, yeah.
On the next episode of Racing Georgia.
Well, it's the morning of the long stage. This is where the race is won or lost. We're running about 4:30 to 5 minutes per kilometer. Not bad.